A new poll shows virtually no Democrat voter is satisfied with the way things are going in the United States right now. They're not happy. Republican pollster Mitchell Brown joins me now. Okay, Mitch, are young people in particular dissatisfied and pessimistic?
Hey, Stu, good to see you. Yes, they are, and that's across the board. It's not just young Democrats. I had this on one of my surveys pretty recently nationally, and young voters under the age of 35 are the most pessimistic. We phrased it as, do they believe that the American dream is still alive and attainable for them? And less than 30% said yes. Seniors, on the other hand, too, also were underwater, with only 47% saying yes, they believe the American dream was alive. It's only that middle-aged group that still had some faith left.
This is all about housing, isn't it? I mean, it's very difficult for young people to get into a home of their own without financial help from mom and dad, usually. So housing is at the root of this dissatisfaction?
Yes, almost entirely, Stu, and it comes down to really two things. They were sold what the American dream looked like, and now, if you go back and look, 50 years ago, over 50% of men under the age of 30 were married and had a home. Now that number's only 12%.
Is there some political dissatisfaction? I mean, I suggest that some young people may not be happy with President Trump. Is that a factor in this polling?
Not as much. Again, these are people who are just always going to be kind of against the system or the status quo. That's why I think there's a lot of these young voters. Even if you go look at New York City, for example, I bet there's a lot of young voters there who voted for Donald Trump that would consider voting for Mamdani just because it's something that's against the system that they feel was created against them, has been pushing down on them.
You haven't done any polling in New York, have you?
I have not.
Okay, I was about to ask you, am I right that Mamdani wins? Okay, we'll move on. We've got other new polling that shows the average Ivy League student is much more liberal than the average American. Spell this out for us, Mitchell. Is it a case of Ivy League indoctrination, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get paid to poll this question, but people can intuitively know that was how this is going to come out. The interesting column here, it showed the average American voter and how they feel about certain climate change issues. And then it talked to Ivy League students and 1% income earners. And on average, 1% income earners were 25% more liberal than the average American voter, and Ivy League students were 50% more liberal. Now, about half of those Ivy League students are probably coming from those 1% households, and the other half, again, have to go through their day-to-day lives on campus, listening to their professors indoctrinate them about whatever Reconstruction theory they have. So it's tough, but that is kind of crazy, and you see it in employers saying now that they're shying away from hiring students from these schools.
But isn't it true to say that, well, not quite sure how to put this, but all youngsters are liberal. If you haven't got a heart, you have no heart. If you're not a liberal under the age of 25, you've got no heart. And if you're still a liberal after the age of 25, you've got no head. You heard that one before?
I have, and that's spot on. So, but yes, but we've seen, Stu, that broke this election. Young men under the age of 30 are the single most conservative generation in this country.
Oh. Okay, I understand, and we've got the pictures, that you were married recently. There you are. That's a wedding picture. First of all, congratulations, Mitchell. That's wonderful. But I want to know, what's with the sword? That first picture had a sword in it. What's that?
Well, Stu, it's in that second one, too. I think you'd appreciate this. This was a full formal English wedding in your homeland. We got married there. When I was looking at the pictures of the venue, my wife and we looked at it. I was like, you know what? I have to do a sword here. This is more traditional, and with the tails tucks, I wanted to include it, and I couldn't be happier that I did.
Well, congratulations. I didn't know that swords and tails were a tradition in England, but I'll find out. Mitchell Brown, you're all right, and congratulations on your wedding. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, sir.
Thanks again, Stu.